Thank you, Chair. It seems to me that the Conservative group have very short memories. It was just a few years ago when they were cheering their own government that raised taxes to a peacetime high. Now that not that tax rises are a bad thing if they're being used to fund properly funded public services, as in the case of the national insurance rise, which was mentioned. It's important to remember that it helped fund the £29 billion funding that's going into the NHS. Far from overseeing a low-tax and small-state economy, which is what they like to portray, the Conservatives did. If you take, for example, Rishi Sunak and Boris Johnson, in just 2 years, they raised taxes by 2% of GDP. It took the Brown and Blair government 10 years to raise it at that level. The Tories were the first government in 50 years to raise corporation tax from 19% to 25%, despite talking to the public for years that lower taxes would bring in more money to the exchequer as well. They froze income tax thresholds, as we've heard today, for 6 years, year on year for 6 years. This is Conservative Party government policy. And when Labour talks about freezing it for 1 year, I think one-offs is one thing, but this is an actual policy that the previous government owned as the norm. Now, when we're looking at council tax bills as well, they increased for nearly 51% in the Tory years, if you compare what it was in 2010, actually with the help of the Lib Dems, to what it was when they left office. So I'm surprised that such an economic socialist group is now suddenly against tax rises. It's so difficult to keep up when they're responsible for the highest tax rates that this country has ever seen. And we shouldn't forget the awful economic mess that the new government inherited. The Conservative group hasn't shown any contrition about their party's shocking record on the economy.